Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
We begin tonight with breaking news. A Grand Forks woman has died after drowning in a pool last night. Lieutenant Derek Zimmel with the Grand Forks Police Department confirms with Valley News Live that officers were called to a home in the 2000 block of 11th Avenue North around 9 last night after a man found a relative unresponsive in an above-ground pool. Rescue crews tried to resuscitate the woman before bringing her to Altru Hospital. Zimmel could not comment on how she ended up in the pool, but says this is an ongoing investigation. So be sure to stick with Valley News Live on this developing story. Bail is set at $250,000 for a Carrington, North Dakota woman accused in the death of her baby. Justice Lang is facing manslaughter and child neglect charges. Her 4-month-old baby boy was found dead near a slough northwest of Jamestown on Saturday. A farmer found Lang wandering alone in an area not far from the slough 5 days earlier. Authorities say she told them she didn't remember when she last saw her baby. Lang appeared in court today in Jamestown. Heavy rain caused major flooding in parts of Minnesota this morning. According to the National Weather Service, parts of northeast and east central Minnesota received 6.5 inches of rain in 3 hours. That caused the Mississippi River to rise 6 feet, causing several roads in the area to wash out. Floodwaters invaded an assisted living center, and a herd of cattle became stranded in the floodwater. Not a major drop in temps today, but even a few degrees feels better. Hutch, does it look pretty quiet for this evening, too?
Yes, we do see on the radar that there's a couple of areas of sprinkles, mainly in the southern valley, but there's no threatening weather. A nice, quiet evening for many of us, and temperatures have settled back to near 80 for most of us, as opposed to those 90s and heat indices close to 100 in the south. More rain in store for southern parts of Minnesota and the Twin Cities, having a line of strong thunderstorms pushing in towards them. For us, nice and quiet. Temperatures slipping back into the 70s for most of our evening. Looks like the wind stays fairly light as well. I think we'll see clouds for the evening here in Fargo, but as you can see from this shot from the Grand Forks area, the clouds starting to break there. Temperatures in the 60s after bedtime tonight. It does look like that hot weather returns. I'll have details on that, and I'll point out that next round of thunderstorms and when they'll get here coming up in a few moments. Andrea?
Okay, thanks, Hutch. A woman from Candu, North Dakota has been arrested and faces several charges. Authorities say 28-year-old Carrie Doherty is facing 9 charges stemming from a 2017 case that includes 3 counts of criminal conspiracy, burglary, theft of property, and breaking into a vehicle. Doherty pleaded not guilty that year to all the charges, but in June of this year, she failed to appear in court. She also had a hearing today and was being held in the Stutsman County Correctional Center on a $5,000 bond. Police have released a description of the man who they say pointed a gun at 2 liquor store employees, made off with some cash, and is still on the run. The call came in just before midnight to Royal Liquors on Main Avenue and 16th Street. When police arrived, the suspect was already gone. A K-9 was called in to track the alleged robber, but it was unsuccessful. Authorities say the suspect is a skinny black man, about 5 feet 10 to 6 feet tall, wearing a dark blue windbreaker, black pants, and sunglasses. None of the employees were hurt during the robbery. Police ask you to give them a call if you have any information. A Minnesota mom and her daughter are dead after a landscaping boulder fell off a truck and hit their car. The accident took place Monday afternoon in Rosemount. Police believe the 800-pound boulder fell from the truck that was crossing some railroad tracks, then bounced and rolled into oncoming traffic. They say the boulder went completely through the vehicle that Karen and Jenna Christensen were in. The truck driver didn't stop, but police believe they have identified the company. One man died in a Fargo hospital shortly after being attacked by a bear, but authorities say it wasn't the bear attack that killed him. The 70-year-old man from near Pine River, Minnesota, was trying to scare a bear off his property on July 6th when he was charged by another bear and thrown into the air. The man didn't have any visible wounds from that attack. A few days later, he was taken to a Fargo hospital for stomach pains and died. Many believed the bear caused internal injuries, but a preliminary autopsy shows the attack did not cause his death. This bizarre case is still being investigated by the DNR and the Sheriff's Office. Standing water from recent storms is all over the valley, and more rain is headed our way this weekend, making perfect conditions for mosquitoes. Cass County Vector Control tells us numbers are higher than they were last year at this time, but they're nothing too extreme. They say another big batch of mosquitoes is set to hatch in the next couple of days. So Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter, Bailey Hurley, talked with experts on how you can protect your family and home from mosquitoes.
All over the valley lately, Rick Kuhn says it's not too late for you to protect your home.
Just make sure your gutters are cleaned out, properly. If it's going to rain, make sure you have them down so the water goes away from your house.
He says to make sure your grass is always mowed to about 3 inches and get rid of any standing water.
Don't forget about your dog's watering dish too, because mosquitoes can lay eggs in there and that can affect your pet's health.
I checked out what homeowners could pick up at a local store to fight off mosquitoes, and I found all sorts of sprays and treatments ranging from $4 to $70. But Kuhn says to keep the bugs out of your garage with a net like his will cost you close to $200.
Mosquitoes are usually most biting at from dusk to dawn, so you want to properly protect yourself.
But if you're hanging outside during those high bite times, Kuhn says to bring out a fan and keep a yellow light on your front and back porches to attract less bugs.
Mosquitoes don't like the air movement, so if you want to sit around the campfire, just have a little fan blowing behind you.
Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
Vector Control says a dead crow tested positive for West Nile virus yesterday in North Fargo. A reminder for you to be careful when you're outdoors. They say crews will be out in the metro tonight, spraying for the second time this week. Vice President Mike Pence is planning a return trip to North Dakota. Congressman Kevin Cramer tweeted this photo to the city of Grand Forks of him, his wife, and the vice president, saying July 25th will be a memorable day and get ready for a visitor. Details to follow soon. The vice president was in Fargo back in March to campaign for Cramer and talk about how the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act will impact the state and our country. Valley News Live will have you covered when the vice president visits Grand Forks. It is official. The oldest person in Minnesota is 111 years old. Evelyn Klein celebrated her second golden birthday, turning 111 on July 11th. The former seamstress lived on her own until she was 104. Now she lives at Chandler Place in St. Anthony. CBS's Susan Elizabeth Littlefield was there for the birthday celebration.
Hey, should we sing our song? I don't know why.
Evelyn and her great niece Joni have been singing this song for years.
I love you like I do.
Years are something Evelyn has more of than any other Minnesotan. And for that, she's being properly celebrated.
Thank you, everybody, for coming and greeting me so wonderfully. I just don't know what to say.
And no other Minnesotan has as much to tell. She was born in 1907 in Columbia Heights, married in 1932. She lost 2 husbands along the way. She didn't birth children, but she did create so much love.
So Evelyn is my grandma's sister, and my grandma and my dad have passed away. And so we are just very, very close. We're pals, aren't we?
Yeah, we sure are.
Joni is a regular visitor at the assisted living home. Evelyn, a lifelong seamstress, lived on her own until she was 104. She takes exercise classes, only takes 1 pill, plays bingo, and still knows how to win.
I just played cribbage with her and she skunked me.
She never smokes or drank, but she does sometimes indulge.
I like ice cream. You lost without it.
Evelyn Klein, making Minnesota nicer for 111 years.
Oh, I love you.
Evelyn says there's no reason to think she can't start planning her 112th birthday. Fergus Falls is turning its downtown into one big party today with the event Shop, Move, and Groove. Local boutiques are opening their doors, and many of them are having special sales for the day. Downtown restaurants are also taking part in the event, and they didn't forget about the fun activities either. Kids can take part in giant Jenga or even dunk a teacher.
I think it's a great way for people to get excited about what's happening in Fergus Falls. We've had a lot of growth with nearly 120 new businesses in the last 5 years, and we really want people to have a reason to come downtown and explore it if they haven't been downtown.
Shop, Move and Groove is still going on with a movie in the park starting at 9 tonight to wrap up the evening.